Okay, I really need to talk about this because at this point it's gotten to a level where it's just flat out unacceptable. This game really needs to be fixed. And when I say that, I mean this game's inability to register the inputs that you put in because it happens so often now that it is unacceptable. If it was something that happened once in a blue moon, I would go 9+ months without it happening one time. That would be fine. I can just chalk that up to just random instance of the game being the game, maybe a bit of lag, whatever. But when I'm in a perfectly smooth match, which is already rare enough, and the game still does not register the inputs that I put in, not only do you make me look fucking stupid, because this particular instance that got me really fucking angry is I was fighting a Sun Family team, or Saiyan team, because Vegeta was there. I was fighting a Saiyan team. Namek Goku was out. He just popped the main ability. I knew he had the goddamn super, so I did what I always do. I use a strike card, and I plan to strike cancel, so that the super doesn't hit me, and he's stuck there. And the instant I tap the strike card, I'm already swiping so that I know for a fact I'm not swiping too late. The very instant I hit that card, I'm already swiping. But instead of sidestepping and not being hit by the super, my Vegito decides he wants to fly all the way up to Namek Goku and get blasted in the face by his goddamn super, which, as late in the match as it was, cost me the entire fucking match because it was a very close match. It was towards the end. No one's units had too much health left except I think like Super Saiyan 3 Goku had like half his health left, but he didn't have his main ability anymore, and I still had Purple Vegito. And if I could have taken out Namek Goku there, it would have been smooth sailing to the end of that goddamn match. But because the game refused to put in my input, it just didn't happen. And it's happening so frequently. So many times I try to move up and it doesn't work. So many times I tap a strike card 3 fucking times when my opponent is sidestepping. Doesn't fucking come out. The amount of times that I have to struggle just to get my character to sidestep at certain points is unacceptable. It should not be this hard just to play the game, just to do the basic function of the game, and that is fucking play it. It is unacceptable because it is unplayable. Not only do I have to deal with laggy inputs, my inputs happening about 14 seconds after I actually do them because the netcode of this game, it was designed by a bunch of goddamn monkeys, but also when the actual inputs don't happen at all, there's also the instance of tap attacks not registering, tackles coming out of nowhere. Anyone remember the green card glitch that still fucking exists, where you tap a green card, even if you only tap it one fucking time, and you just randomly tackle someone for no fucking reason? That shit still exists. And this input problem has existed since the game's inception, since day one. However, it's only gotten worse as the game progressed. It was actually a very rare occurrence back in year one of the game. And back then, when it did happen, you could just chalk it up to, it's a new game, they'll fix it eventually. But not only does it still exist, it is significantly worse than it has ever been. I cannot just sit here and be like, this is fine. This is fine. Like 30% of the time, my inputs just don't work. One third of the time, my inputs just don't work. Fine. No, that's not fine. If there is any aspect of this game that should be done perfectly, it's that. To hell with literally everything else. Actually being able to move should be something that is perfect. Actually being able to do what I want to do when I want to do it and not when the game decides it wants to let me do it should be a thing. Why do I have to fight with this game just to get my character to do anything except stand still? It is unacceptable, and I'm fucking done with it. I'm so fucking tired of this bullshit. Not only do they refuse to fix it, every single time they update this fucking game, it gets worse. They need to do something about this. Because sooner or later, it's going to get to a point, if it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse and worse, when we finally reach a point where you have a fucking 50-50 chance of what you actually did on your screen happening, that's when we reach a place where Dragon Ball Legends just dies. Because people are not going to want to live with this 50-50 chance of actually doing something. I don't want to play a game where there's a 50-50 chance of me sidestepping or using an arts card or tackling when I didn't want to. It's fucking ridiculous. And I'm fucking pissed. I have no issue with losing matches, but when I lose matches because of something that is completely out of my control, when I actually did the opposite of what the game did, that shit pisses me off.